my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Kyla, and in this video we are going to go over all of the new releases that I am most excited for quarter 4 of 2023. I have been scouring all of the articles, Goodreads, Instagram, Book Talk, everywhere to compile a list of the books that are coming out at the end of this year, but I'm going to share just the ones that I am most excited about, or else we would be here forever. So mainly that is horror, thrillers, YA, and fantasy. There's a little bit of everything in there. There's also some middle grade in there. I really tried to narrow it down and just share with you the ones that I am like most looking forward to, or else this list would be light years long. I'm gonna share them in order of when they come out. Hopefully publication dates have not changed since I made this list. So let's go ahead and start with October. October is by far the heftiest month of this entire list. Something about October, just so many books are coming out this month and so many ones that I am just beyond excited for. Some of these are already out because I'm filming this a little bit into October, so some of these at the beginning are already out, which is exciting because you could get your hands on them immediately. And then obviously the ones that haven't, we can look forward to. Also, just have to apologize. It's a like weirdly sunny but cloudy day, so the sun keeps going in and out, and it's just going to be wackadoodle time with this lighting. So anyways, let's start out. So releasing on October 3rd, we have quite a few books. Starting out with one I actually already own, but I will put a picture on the screen here, is Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. This one is a Southern Gothic horror, and that is just like so up my street. Something about the Southern Gothic vibes, it makes everything that much more creepy, and I just love it. I'm not going to read out the synopsis of every single book, but I will give you like the buzz line that it says on Goodreads. So this one says, a grim and gothic new tale about a small town haunted by secrets that can't stay buried and the sinister house that sits at the crossroads of it all. And I do believe this has to do with also like a famous author in that town. I think that the author like owned the house before, and then our main protagonist gets like weirdly obsessed with this house and like the history behind it and everything. Beyond that, I don't really know, but I am excited. The vibes of this sound so creepy and eerie and just perfect for this time of year. It is definitely on my October TBR, and like I just can't wait. And then we have My Darling Girl by Jennifer McMahon. This one caught my eye. I am like not a Jennifer McMahon stan yet because I haven't read like a lot of her backlist. I read a few from her. She's hit or miss for me, but this one sounds like it's going to be giving like Mother Thing vibes by Ainsley Hogarth, and I loved that book. It's one of my favorite horrors of the year so far. This one says, a spine-tingling psychological thriller about a woman who, after taking in her dying alcoholic mother, begins to suspect demonic possession is haunting her family. So it's giving just like home, it's giving Mother Thing, and I need it. I need more of that in my life. This one also publishes on October 3rd. And like what I love about Jennifer McMahon too is she always does a dual timeline, which is just so gripping in a story, and I really hope that she does it with this one as well. Can't wait, can't wait. The next one on my list is After the Forest by Kel Woods. This one, oh my god, sounds so interesting. This is like Hansel and Gretel after the fact, like years later, and them dealing with like the trauma of what happened to them. Because it says 15 years after the witch in the gingerbread house, Greta and Hans are struggling to get by. Their mother and stepmother are long dead. Hans is deeply in debt from gambling, and the countryside lies in ruin. It's people recovering in the aftermath of a brutal war. Greta has a secret, the witch's grimoire, secreted away and whispering in her ear, and the recipe inside that makes the most sinfully delicious and addictive gingerbread. One of my favorite things is the Tim Burton movie of Hansel and Gretel. If you haven't seen it, it is the creepiest thing you have ever seen in your entire life. His take, I mean, his mind is already like a little weird and twisted, but his take on Hansel and Gretel, beyond creepy, and this is giving me that, and I'm very excited about it. I also just love the idea of exploring like the aftermath of that, because hello, trauma. No, absolutely. Are you kidding? They're definitely left with some scars, and like I want to know what's going to happen, or like this take on it years after the fact. That just sounds like something I need in my life. So this one also publishes on October 3rd, and I need it. I need it. I cannot wait to read this one. And then we have one of my most anticipated books for the year. I'm gonna say that a few times in here because there are quite a few that I am very excited about, but this is definitely one of them, and it's Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. I love me some Ashley Winstead. In My Dreams I Hold the Knife is one of my top tier thrillers of all time. Last Housewife was not like my all-time favorite, but In My Dreams I Hold the Knife, it's just so good. It's so good. And this is also a Southern Gothic thriller, which, I mean, we're just getting fed them right now, and I am here for it. I love these vibes so much. And this one says it's about a killer haunting a small town in Louisiana where two outcasts, the preacher's daughter and the boy from the wrong side of the tracks, hold the key to uncovering the truth. Do I need to say anything more? I do not think that I do. This cover is also absolutely stunning. I love it. This teal blue with the moon situation. I'm here for it. It also says for fans of Verity and A Flicker in the Dark, which just is an interesting combination if you ask me. So I am very curious to see where this story is going to go, but if I know anything about Ashley Winstead, I know that she is going to take a risk, and I am here for it. Okay, moving on to books that actually haven't published yet. Now we are getting into the territory of like, they're coming. We have Bittersweet in the Hollow by Kate Pearsall. This one is set to publish on October 10th, and this is a YA horror / fantasy about four sisters with unusual talents, and they investigate a mysterious disappearance in their secluded Appalachian town. And it says for fans of House of Hollow and Wilder Girls. So it just is going to give, I think, like paranormal YA horror vibes, and like YA horror, you know how I feel about it, okay? I'm very excited about this one. I also am like so curious if we are going to be following perspectives of the four different sisters, or if we're just going to get one like telling the story. I'm interested to see how this is going to be told. That sun is going to bother me so much. So sorry about it, but yeah, oh my god, the vibes of this just sound so good. It also caught my eye because in the first little blurb, it says, in rural Cabin Hollow, surrounded by the vast national forest, the James women serve up more than fried green tomatoes at the Harvest Moon Diner, where the family recipes are not only secrets. And you said fried green tomatoes, I'm there. I am there. That movie is top tier. It's so good and disturbing, and just one of those movies that like stays with me. I probably saw that movie when I was way too young, but I watched it so many times growing up, and like, it's just incredible. It's an incredible movie. You said fried green tomatoes in your description. I'm there. You don't have to say anything else. And I know I mentioned Mother Thing earlier. The next book on my list is the next one by Ainsley Hogarth, and that is Normal Women. This one, again, she is just really exploring the whole motherhood theme here, but like the way she does it, this one is going to be, oh my god, it's just gonna hit different, I feel. I just feel it. I just feel it in my bones. Also, this cover, like, she knows how to do a cover, okay? You're gonna suck me in with that. I can't. This one says, in this darkly comic story about how we value female labor, and don't. A new mother becomes embroiled in a dangerous mystery when her friend, a controversial entrepreneur, goes missing. So it just feels like it's going to explore more of the themes of motherhood while also following a new mystery, while also involving that like comical side of horror, that kind of like sarcastic while also being really creepy side of horror, and like that's my jam. That is my jam in horror. I love it. So this one I cannot wait for. It publishes on October 10th. There's also another cover going around for this one, which I will insert here, which also, it's just amazing. I can't decide which one I like more. She just knows how to do cover, okay? She just knows. She knows. And yes, I will be buying this one. Don't worry, I only have a couple left for October. The next one is Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson. This is the sequel to Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, which I read earlier this year and really loved and just fell in love with the writing style of it, because it's that like sarcastic British humor while also being like really meta in the writing, where he's just really leading you on throughout the story and also just kind of laying it out as it is. It's that very like straightforward, punchy humor, and I'm a sucker for it, especially when it's British. Don't have to say anything else. I can't. I'm so excited. I really don't know anything about this sequel. I've kind of tried to steer my eyes clear of anything, because where is a sequel, I don't really want to know a whole ton. So all I'm assuming about this one, because I also just don't want to read anything, is that we have another mystery that's just gonna take place on a train. This is the cover that's going around right now. There's actually two covers. There's the UK cover, and then this one, I don't know if this is the actual US cover. I really hope not, because I hate it. I hate this cover so much. I really wish it would match the vibe of the first one, because this definitely does not at all. So fingers crossed there's actually like a cool new US cover coming at some point, because I really hope this isn't it. This one publishes on October 17th, and yeah, like I said, fingers crossed we get an actual, like, decent cover for this. Maybe some people love it. I don't know. It's not for me. And then I also have another sequel, The Night Housekeeper by Laura Semph. This is the sequel to The Clackety, which is a middle grade horror mystery story, and I freaking loved The Clackety. It gives such Tim Burton vibes. It gives such, like, Nightmare Before Christmas, Tim Burton, Coraline, like, all in that family. It's amazing. Also, the artwork, like, it just screams Tim Burton. So I am, like, a sucker for it. And the first one I loved. I fell in love with Evie as a character. There's something about her. She is, like, brave, but also kind of timid and, like, exploring herself. And I can't. I love it so much. So this one is set to publish on October 17th as well. And all I know about this one is that it's still taking place in Blight Harbor. We're following Evie just a couple weeks after the Clackety took place and everything that happened in there with the doors and the ghosts and everything. So we are following her a couple weeks afterwards, after she's gotten back. Time to, like, decompress. Kind of, sorta, and she gets called to, like, some sort of council meeting and learns about some new dark mysterious entity, and I'm sure goes on an adventure from there. Like I said, this is a middle grade, so it's very lighthearted, scary. It's not anything too serious. If you like Tim Burton, you will love this, and trust me when I say, like, it's just so good. It's so good. Then my last one for October is All That Consumes Us by Erica Waters. This is set to publish on October 17th as well. A lot of books this October 17th. And this is a YA horror slash fantasy, very dark academia. This one says it's Ninth House meets The Dead in the Dark, which is very interesting for me because I did not enjoy Ninth House, but I loved The Dead in the Dark. Like, that is a 5-star, one of my favorite books of the year. So this is going to be an interesting read. This cover, I'm obsessed with it. I love, like, the skeletal hand with the normal hand. Oh, I kidding? It's giving very dark academia vibes. I am here for it. And this one says, in this gothic dark academia novel that delves into the human capacity for great love, great art, and great evil. And this one is following a school where when you go to this school, everything's included. Like, it's free tuition, dream jobs once they graduate, like the ultimate deal. And our main protagonist gets offered to come to this school. And once she's like settled into her dorm, some weird things start happening. Beyond that, I don't want to know anything else. This is my kind of story. You scream dark academia, YA, fantasy, horror. All the buzzwords. I don't need to know anything else. You give me this beautiful cover, I'm showing up for it. I definitely plan on reading this in November. I have already like such plans and I cannot wait. So that is all of the books that I have for October. Now let's move on to November. We have some very exciting books in November. I'm like itching. I'm itching. I don't want to wish October away. Do not get me wrong. We don't do that. But these ones are some of my most anticipated of the whole year. I know I said I was going to say it again. Here it is. I'm saying it again. There are quite a few in this month that I've been waiting for. The first one is Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree, which is the prequel to Legends and Lattes. Y'all know my love for Legends and Lattes. I am obsessed with that book, especially for this time of year. It is the perfect cozy fantasy, and I loved the prequel chapters at the end. With the edition that I had a few little bonus chapters for this prequel. So I'm so excited that we're actually getting like a full book of it, because I liked those chapters. I liked learning what happened to Viv before and how she got to like where she is and was feeling so lost and that kind of thing. So I like that we're getting like this kind of whole backstory, and I'm sure that means like a whole new band of characters and also just an explanation of why things went so sour. I can't wait. This publishes November 7th, and it is taking everything in me not to order like a really pretty copy of this too. Like, I don't need it, but like I also need it, you know? And then we have pretty much everyone's most anticipated, or at least if you are a fantasy girly, a fantasy person, this is one of your most anticipated, and it's Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Like, I don't have to say anything else. This is the sequel to Fourth Wing, and we've all been waiting for it. I actually pre-ordered this, the first ever pre-order, because I'm all about that. I like to go to the bookstore and pick up my books like on the day they come out. That's just like what it makes me so excited, that anticipation of like walking into the bookstore and picking it up and like having it in my hands. I like that experience, but I knew that we could not take that chance, so I pre-ordered it. I even pre-ordered it with the sprayed edges. It's not as pretty as the last one. They're just black sprayed edges, unfortunately. But it's fine. It's fine. Didn't want to miss out like I did on the pretty copy of Fourth Wing, so we have Iron Flame. I'm not gonna say anything about it. I don't need to. I can't really, because that would lead to spoilers, so I'm not gonna say anything else other than yes. And then we have one that I am actually so happy that is happening, and that is Veronica Ruiz Breaks the Bank, a short story by Elle Casamano. This is the same author as Finley Donovan. We are going to follow a short story of Vero. Finally, Vero is going to get a perspective, and I just cannot wait. I do think this series is going a little bit down the tanks. I still have enjoyed it. I don't take it too seriously. I always just try to go in with like an open mind and just have fun. Like, yeah, are there characters that I like and plot lines that I hate? Absolutely. But I still think it's a fun time. However, I was not jazzed to hear that we were getting another like 5 books or something like that. But this one I'm excited for, because we're just getting that perspective that we've all wanted. We love Vero as a fandom. We need more Vero in our lives. So the fact that she's getting a short story, I cannot wait. This is going to be giving us Vero's backstory, finally, like written out in full from her perspective. It's just what we've all needed. This publishes November 7th. I love the cover of it. This I'm here for. I just wish they all would have Vero's perspective from here on out. Maybe that'll happen. If we like give this the true attention that it deserves, maybe that is something that can happen further in the series. Maybe she'll take the hint. Who knows? But I'm excited for it. Then another most anticipated is Heartstopper Volume 5. This is one of my most favorite Heartstopper covers. I think if not my favorite Heartstopper cover, because after knowing what happens in Volume 4, this cover is everything that we needed to like be emotionally okay to go into this one. This is exactly what we need to know on the cover. Stop, I can't. And I don't know too much about this one. It's been kept kind of under lock and key of like what actually happens in this one, other than we know that they are going to be talking about like colleges and what happens next, and like they gonna stay and like go to college together, are they not, like that's kind of the drums. But I know that it also follows what happens after what happens in Volume 4, which I'm not gonna say out loud in case you haven't gotten there yet, but this is exactly what we need, and this cover is just everything. So I cannot wait. It publishes on, oh, now it says December 7th. Excuse me. Maybe the hardcover comes out before then. Nope, now they both say December 7th. Okay, well, we're just going rogue here. I included it in the November list, but it's a December book now. Man, that means we have to wait even longer. That's sad. And then my last one for November is The Mystery Guest by Nita Prose. This is the second in the Molly the Maid series. Maid first, and then this is the second one, which is The Mystery Guest. And I am excited for this one only because I hope that Molly the Maid gets the respect that she deserves in this one. And that's truly the only reason why I plan on reading this, is like, girlfriend needs the treatment and the respect that she deserves, because she did not get that at all in the first one, and I was so frustrated by it. I was so frustrated by how she was just treated as a human overall. I hated it. So I'm hoping that she gets redemption in this one. I haven't read too much about it other than I know that she's like risen through the ranks, so hopefully that means that she is respected now. I love her. I love Molly as a character. Like, you can't help but not. She is just that type of character. But how she got treated made me so mad that, like, I need to read this and have, like, that redemption for her. And if I don't get it, I'm gonna drop some bows in here. Like, I just can't. That's how passionately I love her. I can't. So this one is set to publish on November 28th, so end of the month. So this will be like a fun kind of December read, I think. This is the perfect like cozy to read that time of year when you're just like bundled up and need to stay inside. I love this for that. So I will be reading this for sure in December. And moving on to December, actually only have one book in December. There are a lot of romances publishing in December, I noticed, but if you know me, you know that's not really my jam. Doesn't mean that I won't pick any of them up, but none of them that were like grabbing my attention enough to include on this particular list. So I do have one book in December that is like top tier, but it doesn't come out until the end of the month, so I think it'll probably end up being like a January read for me, or like that last week in December. I don't know, we'll have to see. But it is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, which is the second in the Divine Rival series, or it's called the Letters of Enchantment series, but it's the second to Divine Rivals, which I read recently and instantly was like 5-star status. You got mail, but make it fantasy and add war? No. you didn't just do that. You did do that, and I'm very excited to read the second one and see what happens. This is also the last one. It's only a duology, which makes me so sad. I wish it was going to be longer. I love these characters, but I also love when fantasy is like so readable in that sense, where we don't have like 5 books in a series. It's just a duology or a trilogy or, you know, that kind of thing. I just feel like it's a lot more attainable for a lot of people. And yeah, so as heartbroken as I am that there's not going to be more of it, I also can really appreciate that. So I'm not going to say what this one is going to entail in case you haven't read Divine Rivals yet. I don't want to spoil anything. All I can say is that I'm very excited to find out what happens after reading the last one and following these characters and just seeing how this is all going to play out, because it left on a very interesting note. So I am stoked to check this out. Like I said, it publishes on December 26th, so it's either going to be like a last week in December read or save it for the beginning of the year. But yeah, that is my entire list of all the books that I'm excited about for the end of the year. Like I said, I know there are so many more coming out, so these are just like the genres that I gravitate towards and the ones that I'm particularly excited about. There are hundreds of books still coming out at the end of this year from all sorts of genres, so definitely do some due diligence there, watch a bunch of videos, find ones that you're excited about. Hopefully mine put some books on your radar. If you are also excited about any of these, definitely let me know which one in the comments, or like all of them, just leave me a list. Also, if there's any that I missed that you're like, no, you need to check this book out, also leave that as a comment. I would truly appreciate it. I love watching these videos because I just add to the TBR, and it just grows and grows and grows. It just gets me so excited. I love it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe if you are not already. Turn on the bell so you never miss a video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!
With you and I, the future